One major problem with being surrounded by our enemies was the proliferation of bandits and brigands. They took our predicament as a sign of weakness, and their numbers increased. They thought we were weakened, and gathered like carrion to pick at the carcass while we still lived. My men still had the reputation of being the fiercest warriors in the land, but like a pack of dogs trying to take down a bear, they nibbled and bit at the edges of our land. We now controlled the river only as far as Barnard Castle to the west and Thornaby to the east. All else was lost. To the north I had no knight at Norton, but there was a stout garrison of those who had fled from the lands around Hartness. They would hold the town wall and the manor for a brief time at least. Sir Richard of Yarm had been a dubious ally until his son Tristan had almost been slain by the de Bruce clan. Now he guarded the southern approaches to my land. The east was my main problem. There Robert de Bruce still ruled, and he was an ally of King David of Scotland and Stephen, the usurper of England. Aidan acted as my gamekeeper as well as the master of my animals. Since the troubles had begun, he had ridden further afield with his 2 hawkers, Edward and Edgar. The 2 brothers had been with me for some time, and Aidan had trained them well. The days when I could enjoy the pleasures of hawking were long gone. Knightly pleasures were a thing of the past. We were fighting for survival, and our backs were to the wall. The 3 of them ranged far and wide, and were my eyes and ears. They scouted. They looked for signs of strangers. They were my guard dogs. The nights were still long, and few men were abroad when they returned one dusk, cold and shivering. Aidan sent his 2 acolytes to the fire in the kitchen while he sought me, Sir John, my castellan, and Wulfric. We were together in my great hall. "Lord, I have found tracks of bandits north of here, towards Thorpe." "Were there many?" He gave a grim smile. "If there had been but a few of them, then they would be dead already. They were too many for the 3 of us. They have a camp in the forest north of Thorpe. Thorpe has been destroyed." He shrugged. "There were no people there. None alive, anyway. The ground was hard with the frost, and it was difficult to ascertain numbers. I am guessing 20, perhaps more." He shook his head. "When we last visited a month since, it was prosperous and the people were happy. Now it is a graveyard. You have done well. Go warm yourself, and tomorrow you shall lead us to this nest of vipers." After he had gone, Wulfric made to rise. "I will warn the men. Stay, Wulfric. You will not be riding tomorrow." "Why not, Lord?" "The 30 stitches in your leg, for one." "It is nothing." "That is not what Father Henry says. I will not risk my rock for bandits. Sir John has been yearning to leave the castle, and he will accompany me. You will remain here and enjoy a day or 2 of being a castellan. You can groom your fine horse, Roger. I believe that come the spring you shall have need of him. I will leave you here with Ere. I take but Dick and his archers. Cedric and Oswald shall be my men-at-arms. Go tell them." He nodded and left.